Now, from that intro, you have to know I'm talking about the one, the only, I should say my right-hand man, but it's a chick, right? Kind of like my sister from another mister or brother from another mother or whatever they want to call us. But I'm talking about the one and only Catharine Pearce. How are you, Miss Catharine?
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. This Bio Bootcamp Live is killing.
Yes,
Like,
it
we
is.
are killing it. If you don't have pen and paper by now and writing down some good stuff, you are missing it. I'm trying to tell you, for everybody that's watching. So what do you think about it so far?
I think it's awesome. I'm getting hand cramps. I'm just saying.
So
Right. I know all these people and I'm still writing stuff down. It's all good.
absolutely, all of these people are on our team. Isn't Justice League so awesome?
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, you have some information that you've given before on Up Social and that you've educated a lot of people on, because people have no idea what's really out there when it comes to healthcare. We're producing a health summit right now, but when you really look at healthcare, we're looking at the preventative and things that you can implement and the education and the awareness. But let's educate and make sure people are aware of the options that they have when it comes to healthcare.
Well, I sell a product. Actually, our team, there's a lot of our team involved. And it is health insurance, and I believe it's probably the best value in America, quite frankly. I myself, and some of you may have heard this story, looked for health insurance for about 3 years. And I was paying $650 a month with a $7,500 deductible through the marketplace. And it really covered nothing unless I went in the hospital and met my deductible at $7,500. But I'm pretty healthy and I really had, really no issues. And so everything that I paid for was out of pocket because I never hit the deductible. After doing that for a couple years, it sort of felt like a mortgage. And I thought, there's got to be something better than this. Now, I didn't fall under the discount because I made too much money. And so, if you make a very low amount, the marketplace can be a good place to get insurance. But unfortunately for the average American, that's not the case.
Right.
And so, if I were to add my children and stuff, we're talking like $1,000. It was $650 just for me. So we started doing some research. So a friend of ours had this insurance already and kind of introduced me, and we talked, I asked lots of questions. We actually went to the company itself, right? You went with me as well.
Absolutely.
And we actually
met the president.
Talked to the president, who's a great Christian guy. He has a PhD in analytics. He also sits on the board for the country, and it's just a pretty cool. I don't even know what to call it, but it was just a very awesome introduction to the company, to the underwriters. We got to meet all of the agents, the FMOs. Just really some amazing people that really cared about what they did. And I think probably the thing that I took away from it was Dr. Chin, who's the president, his heart for fixing healthcare in America. We spend way more on our gross national product on healthcare than any other country in the world. And that means that it's broken.
Absolutely. So the one thing that I want to add on to that, the thing that's most powerful about what you're saying is that we truly got an understanding of the process, the problem, and the people involved in that process. So a lot of the time, the problem is we don't know the process, and we're just talking to customer service rep after customer service rep. And it's a very frustrating situation because one person is telling us this, that then they put us on hold with another person. By us being so up close and personal with this whole situation, we know who to call if one of our clients has a problem. We know the process so we can understand it so we can even explain it to our clients. So that's why it's so empowering.
Very, very connected. And even some of the suggestions that I have had over the last 2.5 years, they have implemented some of those things, which is super cool that
Right.
we have such, we have the president's ear. The people that I speak with are right in the mix of everything, my connections there.
Right.
And I can even call the gentleman who is, head of the FMO, who I have a cell phone number, right? So all of that is very cool to me, as opposed to, when you're trying to get a hold of someone and you're on hold for 4 years and you're about 400 layers down, right? Because you have
Right.
no idea what's going on. So I love that piece of it. The other thing that I really loved is that it really fits for what most people need. And by that, I mean, most of everything we do, most Americans are pretty healthy. When I say to people, when was the last time you were in the hospital? Most of the time, they don't go in the hospital every year, right? Every couple of years, maybe a broken bone, a baby, whatever. And so what we spend most of our money on is doctor's visits, specialist visits, dermatology, all of those things. Well, the amazing thing about this product is that it actually covers our out of cost stuff, right? So at all of our out of pocket is not all of it, but 90% of it is covered. And that is really where we spend a lot of our money.
Right.
Not only that, but for someone who had, say, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, any of those companies, I can generally cut their healthcare in half and give them a better benefit package. For what they would pay for just healthcare, I can usually give them healthcare, critical illness, accident, and dental for half that price.
Right. So here's what I want you to do, because when we've talked about this before, I think one of the best ways for people not to actually be able to physically see it, right,
Mm-hmm.
is to do kind of side-by-side comparison. So what are you used to with regular healthcare, and then what this product provides? So usually regular healthcare, the deductible is this. What we have is this. So if you could kind of lay it out for us that way.
So I'll give you an example of a family, one of the families I just wrote not too long ago. So they were paying about $1,200. She works for the school district. He has his own business. And they were paying about $1,200 for 3 children and 2 adults. Now, they have one of the cheapest plans through the school district. But they were still, it covered some basic, doctor's office, that kind of thing. A couple, a handful of doctor's visits per person. But once you got into, going into the hospital or whatever, they had an $8,500 deductible. Okay.
Right.
So you have to pay that before anything else gets covered, right? We have the same thing. However, our deductible is very customizable. You can have a deductible of $100 up to $10,000. Here's the kicker though. Our deductible only kicks in when you go into the hospital overnight. Okay. So if you went all year and did not go in the hospital overnight, guess what? You would never have to meet that deductible. You can even have outpatient surgery and never have to meet that deductible because you're not in the hospital overnight. It's not inpatient. It's outpatient. It doesn't matter. Okay. So we're still covering those things. The other thing is I was able to cut their insurance to $650. Now they had the top insurance, which means they had 3 units. Now for us, units are kind of, think of them as like bronze, silver, and gold, right? Gold's kind of the top plan, which, if you have Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, any of those. They had 3 units. They had the gold plan, right? And which means they got chunks of money. So when they would go to the doctor, it was $160 each time they went to the doctor, right? I don't know about you, but my doctor's visit is not $160 for my PC.
Right.
So every time they went to the doctor, guess what? We paid $160 whether they used that or not. So guess what they got every time they went to the doctor? They got a check back for $40.
From us.
from the insurance company.
Right.
Now,
But from our insurance company.
Our insurance company.
Yes.
Yeah. So here's the other thing. You can also pay cash. So for me, my doctor's is that I have 2 units, which means I have $120 when I go to the doctor. When I go to the doctor, my cost is $90 cash, right? Now, my doctor doesn't care if I use my insurance or pay cash. Either way, it's actually cash is easier. They don't have to file anything, right? It's just they get paid. So I pay $90 when I go to the doctor cash. Then I go in and put a claim form in, which takes me all of about 3.5 minutes. And then I get a check from my insurance company for $120. So what happened? I just made $30 going to the doctor.
Right. So here's
the insurance company that does that.
Absolutely. So, but here's the thing. So when you look at what people are used to, you have that high deductible. They were paying $1,200 a month, and then they still have to pay to go see the doctor, correct?
Yes. Right. I think they had 2 or 3 doctor's visits a year with a copay, which we don't have a copay either. So I think it was like $25 to go to the doctor for the first 2 or 3 times. And then after that, they had to hit the deductible. Right.
And then for us, when you have certain amount of units, depending on your units, 2 or 3, silver or gold, right? You get either $120 or $160 a doctor visit. Yeah. And if the doctor doesn't charge that amount, you get refunded the extra amount and not have to worry about a deductible. And how many times can you do that? It's up to like 24 times. 22?
20 times.
Yep.
20 doctor's visits a year.
Right.
So I don't know. Hopefully you don't go that many times, because that means you would be really sick. But
right.
You have 20, and you can use 6 of them for chiropractic. Right. So if you want to go to the chiropractor, guess what? We still pay you $120. I don't know, if anybody's going to the chiropractor, but it doesn't cost $120. If you buy a package, it's maybe $60, $75 a visit. So you're getting checks back each time you go.
Right. So it's so many times that people feel like we're stuck, that this is the only option because they don't know what else is out there. Right. Like me, I'm making money hand over fist. I'm going all 20 times because I'm having my wife bust my head every time so I can get $30 a visit. I'm making money over here. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
so that's what it is.
I'll tell you a little story. A friend of mine, when he had major medical all his life. He worked for a major pharmaceutical company. And so he actually had a great plan, because the deal was, once you hit so many years, even if you left the company, you could still get this insurance. So he really had a great plan for insurance, but he was paying a very good, about, I think it was over $1,200 or $1,300, something like that, for him and his 2 children. And so I had talked to him for months and months and months about this, and I kept saying, I'm telling you, you're going to save so much money, whatever. So finally, it had gone up like for the 3rd time in the last 3 years. And he's like, all right, I'm ready to, sit down and talk to you. So he got the insurance. He got the top plan, right? He got dental, he got accident, he had critical illness, and he got the top plan in the health insurance. And so he took his daughter to the chiropractor. And so he called me a couple months later, and he said, I got this check in the mail for $40. He goes, I think this is wrong. I think this should have went to the doctor. And I said, well, who did you just take to the doctor? And he said, well, I just took my daughter to the chiropractor. And I said, that's the difference between what the chiropractor charged and what we pay.
Right.
And he's like, there was like silence for a minute. And he said, you mean every time I take her to the chiropractor, I'm going to get a check? I said, absolutely. I said, and you can take her 6 times, and you can go take your son 6 times, and you can go 6 times. And he goes, the whole family's going to the chiropractor. Times.
Right. I'm like, dude, I'm body slamming all of my kids. Like, I think you need to adjust their back, doc. You see what I'm saying? Like,
He was like, he couldn't believe that. Like he just, every time we got a check, he called me. Is this right? Is this supposed to? Yes, that's right. It's okay.
So the thing that I want to pull out more important is that the knowledge that you have and the heart that you have to educate each and every person to make an educated decision, right? And so because there's so many people that they just feel that we have to go with what's out there. They have no idea, one, that you can make a choice, and two, they don't have the wherewithal to even compare it to see what, if it's apples to apples, if it's just fruit, apples and oranges. So it seems alike, but once you take a bite, you like, that's not what I thought it was going to be. So all of those types of situations, you personally take care of those people. So, you know, I want to say kudos to you. And I just wanted to kind of skim the surface on what that whole thing was about so people can kind of picture it in their minds, because healthcare is something we have to do.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Right. And, you know, I call myself a health insurance advisor.
Mm-hmm.
And I do that because I'm always going to look at what the best option is for you. Right now, friends of mine have 3 grown children. Now, I just wrote them this policy for them, but for 2 of their children, they could actually get, because they had some health issues, they could actually get better coverage through the marketplace for even a little bit cheaper than I could get it for them. So I walk them, because the marketplace is super confusing. And so I actually walked both their adult children, through this process. And we got $69 a month, and the other was $57 a month for insurance, because, you know, they're students, they don't make very much money.
Right.
And they actually got most of what we needed to have covered, because they don't really have, most of those policies don't use pre-X. Anything that's pre-existing, they'll cover usually. And so, you know, and just tips of the trade, right? You know, I have options for prescription that's very, very reasonable, super cheap. We just added something where it's $17.50 a month, and it gives you access to mental health professionals. And I can't even go, there's like a 25-30 benefits to this one thing that we've added, because we're always looking to add value to what we have. And so this program, which actually is brand new, it's not even implemented yet until next week. But this program will actually add benefits on top of what you already have. It even saves, like, on travel, on rental car, on you know, AAA, all of those things. It gives all of these added benefits to that. Also helps with prescriptions and, like I said, mental health, right? It gives you options on top of what you already have to get, like, mental health professionals. Those prices would be cut in half.
Right. You keep saying that. I know I'm a little crazy. Like, you keep saying that over and over. Like, I'm just
saying, like, you know, especially right now with the pandemic, there is a lot of people that really need some help.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And, you know, I feel for them. And, you know, even though I did have an option for them, this is an even better option, right? Especially right now with what's going on. And so I'm kind of passionate about that. But for $17.50 a month, with, I can't even go into all the benefits, we don't have enough time, but literally there's like 25 different things that it includes. It is such a value.
Right.
And that's one of the other things that, you know, Dr. Chin and Mary were looking into, you know, just to add value. We've actually upped our benefits 3 times in the last few years and never upped our price. So, I mean, that to me says, you know, that's a heart issue. That's not necessarily, you know, we're out here to make more money. We're out here to better care for our people.
So when you say that, that's exactly what Justice League is all about. I say it's 3 different things. We give people 3 opportunities. We give you the opportunity to save money, the opportunity to make money, and the opportunity to help other people. Now, because you know things such on a very detailed level to where you can explain it, because you're really a teacher by heart. Tell me and explain to the viewers this product right here.
So Somaderm is a human growth hormone product. It's not just human growth hormone. It also has many other ingredients to support your adrenal system. It also helps your body make its own human growth hormone as well. I have a history in the alternative medicine industry as well. And so if you would tell Nolan knows who I am. I'm a researcher. I researched all of the ingredients as well. Because even though something is natural doesn't necessarily mean that it's good for you, right? Cocaine is natural, right?
Right.
So
right.
That doesn't mean tobacco is natural, doesn't necessarily mean that's good for you.
Right.
So I did all of that research to look at the products that were in the ingredients that were in there as well. This is it's a microdose. Really our only comparative thing is injectables, which are, give you 30 days worth of human growth hormone, and only human growth hormone, nothing else, in the injection, right? So it would be like, we always use the example of brushing your teeth 30 times in one day, right? And then not brushing it for the rest of the week. Your body really does not know what to do with 30 days worth of hormones in one injection. I'm sorry, you're going to have side effects. And it's going to cost you about $2,500 for that injection. Your body is meant to do things in moderation and naturally. And so when we have microdosing in a homeopathic, and when you understand homeopathy is a very small amount of whatever you're taking. It's almost trace amount. And what that does is your body then picks that up. So right. For human growth hormone, I say it always tickles your pituitary gland, right? Your pituitary gland is your master gland, and that master gland wakes up all of your other glands, all of your adrenals, things that produce progesterone, testosterone, thyroid, all of those things, especially for women, right? That's super important as we get a little bit older. And so it wakes up all of those glands, and your body starts producing like it did, 20 years ago. And so that is why you start feeling things like, for me, my eyesight got better. My doctor says I'm the only one over 40 going in the opposite direction, right? I'm not getting readers. My prescription is going down. My hair is thicker and my eyelashes are longer. I actually realized that today when I was putting on mascara.
Right.
I realized I had wear it for 30 days or so, and I was like, wow.
Right.
I sleep better. I have no more carpal tunnel. I had broken my arm months ago and started putting the gel on my arm, on the inside of my arm, and actually on my elbow because I had fractured my radial head. And my orthopedic was like, he's like, what the heck are you doing? Like, because I healed in literally half the time. I was out of my cast in just a few weeks. So all of those things happen because this is a natural product that naturally stimulates your body to produce human growth hormone, in addition to giving your body micro doses of it. So, you may start out at 5%, but, when you're in your top, right, you and I have been on it for more than 2 years.
Right.
So we're probably more like at the 10 or 12% level, where we were, maybe in our 20s and 30s. And so that, in itself is a natural, and it's a progressive. It's not all at one time, and your body doesn't know what to do with all of that.
Right.
It will get better. And, it starts from the inside. It starts repairing cells. That's what it is. It's cell renewal. So if you want, firmer, tighter skin and firmer skin and all of that stuff, that's what has to happen.
People that are watching this, how can they get in touch with you if they have questions? How can some of the people get in touch with you if they're looking for the gel? How can some people get in touch with you if they want to literally see how long that mascara is going out there? What's going on? Give me some contact information, Catherine.
One other thing about the gel. I'm a business coach by heart.
Yes.
So the one other thing I want to say is I always teach my clients on, having several streams of residual income. not only is gel an amazing product, and there's only one of a kind in the world.
Exclusive, yes.
And not only is this company was deemed the #1 networking company, right, this past year
in the world, yes,
right, in the world. And so one other thing that I want to say is that, you know, you can help people, you can help them. You know, one of the things I talk to my health insurance clients is, you know, I want to see them, you know, not only get a great deal, but get healthy as well. And this is a product that can help them do it and create a residual income. Many of my clients are business owners, many of them. And so if you'd like to have a little side income, you know, because we're sitting in a pandemic right here, right? Lots of people are out of work, unemployed, right? Our you know, our revenue from this and people buying it again over and over is in the 90 some percentile, right? Because it's a product that works. Nobody really wants to be without it. I don't, for sure.
Absolutely.
So I would say it's not only just a great product, but it is a great business model as well. If you'd like to create some residual income.
And so with you saying that, I want everybody to think about the people that's on this stream. All of these people are top professionals, nutritionists, doctors, bodybuilders, NFL players. If they see the value in this being an extra stream of income for them, if you just got, you know, a regular job and you don't have a PhD behind your name, you haven't been on TV playing professional sports, if they can see the advantages of this product and being a part of our team, which is Justice League, and truly growing this and having us help them grow it, then I don't know what you're waiting on. You're missing something. So you're absolutely correct. I'm sorry I didn't hear you.
That's right.
Awesome. Yep, absolutely. So if you could give your information, Miss Catharine, because you and I can talk all day, because we do every day.
All day, right? Every day.
Every day. But let's go. What you got?
Okay. So my name is Catharine Pearce, and Pearce. And you can either email me at Catharine@beyondbusinesscoaching.net or pierce.catharine@gmail.com. Or you can call me at 832-865-7898.
Boom. Hey, I want to thank you for everything that you do with me. I want to thank you for putting up with me, because I have an acquired taste. Like, this is not, you just can't get this everybody's not like, that's delicious. You see what I'm saying? Some people is like, ew, put that down and spit that out. But you deal with me all the time, so I want to thank you for that.
It's all good, friend. That's all good.
All right. Hey, so we're going to come right back. I'm going to have I'm literally going to have somebody that has lab results to show what Catharine and I was talking about. I know you know who it is. Lab results to show the progression of how much better she's getting from being on the gel for 2 years. I'll be back with her in one moment.